Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is the CEO of her own clothing line, Terese Sydonna. And her slogan, where modern functionality and comfort connect, reflects her brand as it centers on fighting the fashion's inauthenticity crisis by empowering women to be more of themselves through designs that reflect how they feel, who they are, and where they're going. She incorporates her vibrant Jamaican culture, Japanese art, and architecture in every collection. Here to share more about her new collection, Lucy, an ode to Jamaica, we welcome creative director and CEO of Terese Sydonna, Terese Brown. Hello and welcome.
Hi. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yay, we're excited to have you. We're excited to share with our viewers the vibrancy that you've created with this new collection. But before we even dive into that, let's talk a little bit about your background and share with us what inspired you to begin your own line back in 2011.
Yes, so to tell my story, I have to start from the beginning, as with all that I do. And I am an island girl. I'm a Bronxite. I grew up in Lucy, Jamaica. I migrated to the Bronx when I was 7 years old. I'm still a proud Bronx resident. And back in 2011, when I started the collection, it had been years and years of that moment building up to that very special moment when I launched Terese Sydonna. And funnily enough, I had been working in corporate America for some time and realized that it just was not for me. And in almost every space that I was in, whether it was in finance, in buying and merchandising, sales, it was always these same issues that women had. Women were facing such incredible amounts of insecurity in the workplace and at home. You know, it was just pressure to fit the status quo, pressure to be a certain size, pressure to show up glamorous all the time. And when I was in buying and merchandising, we would go to our meetings in these really structured dresses with heels. Back then, no one ever wore sneakers. You would wear it to the train and then change into heels. And that's what it was, right?
Those days, yeah.
Right.
I'm a New Yorker. Yeah.
Right. Those days, like you saw everyone running in the trainers and then changing right before you went into the office. And that was my life. And over time, I saw that what women were really looking for was a safe space to be themselves. They were just looking for an identity, a clothing, a wardrobe, a way to present themselves that was comfortable, that honored who they were, and that it wasn't just like everyone else. And so when I created my line, I wanted to address that issue. And I wanted to create something that was meaningful to women, that could empower women to show up their authentic selves.
So since then, and thank you for sharing that backstory, how hard was it, and or was it easy for you to disrupt it? Because your style, rather, at least in this collection, it's very, very tropical looking and very comfortable looking. And then, you know, we were referencing corporate America and going into the office and looking a certain way. I know things have shifted, especially since the pandemic, but I'm curious to know, like, how you evolved in transforming that look.
The look has transformed with me, right? And so the collection is an evolution. And with each collection that I produce, it's a story, and it's a continuous story of this woman who's on this journey of self-identity, who has insecurities, and I'm highlighting how she's overcoming it, like item by item, style by style. And with my collection, the colors speak to that. And my pieces are so colorful because it's representative of where I'm from. It's representing my culture. It's almost like a cry for all women to join together and really pave the way. I always say with my pieces, they're true conversation starters. And so a lot of the women I dress are CEOs, they're professionals, you know, climbing the ladder in their careers, they're socialites, they're entertainers. The one thing that they love is that they can stand out. And a lot of people don't subscribe to this, but I think there's also a shift happening now where you are your personal brand. So it's, how are you showing up? What are you wearing? What does it say about you? And the pieces I design address that in a positive way.
Yes, and so that being said, this new line, I'm curious to know. I know I myself personally, we shared this prior to getting on air, am into comfort, style with comfort, and this new style that you've created, rather this new collection. I wondered if the pandemic influenced it, and also I'd like to know how the pandemic either hindered or helped your productivity.
I think the pandemic at first was devastating. And in time, I saw that this was a real opportunity for me to reposition the brand and for me to create a new way of dressing for professional women that was comfortable, chic, modern, and functional. I think in corporate America, all women are just striving for that balance. And we're just sick of it all. Like, just, I'm over it. Like, and that was a sense that I was getting. There was something missing. There was something they were like looking, searching for. And I saw it was this. It was clothing that was more size inclusive, materials that were low maintenance, quick drying, wrinkle free, prints that were feminine but bold and beautiful. And I'm so thankful for the pandemic, because if it wasn't for that moment where we all got to slow down and really evaluate where we were in life, what we wanted our lives to look like, what we wanted to look like and show up looking like, I don't think the collection will look the way it does today.
And so as I mentioned, it has like a happy flow, and then the
Mhm.
juxtapose of colors mixing green with pink. And so I know that this particular collection is influenced by your island. So can you just share with us? Because I'm really interested in learning more about how your process, what goes into your process, and how you choose what's going to reflect your personality as well as your ancestry, because you're honoring your island.
Yeah. So Lucy is where I'm from in Jamaica. It's the name of my town. And it is a beautiful town right on the water, right by the ocean, the Caribbean Sea. It is very lush. So every single color that you see in this collection, you see it when you land and you are there in Lucy. The collection is paying homage to all the national symbols that make Jamaica what it is. Green is a favorite color of mine. You will see that throughout every single collection, some shade of green. And I saw that trend and I was like, oh my gosh, they're wearing my color. So I had to include that as well. But truly, in the print, every single color is in there because I wanted it to be something that could be easy breezy. You could wear with any color accessory, any color shoe. You couldn't go wrong.
Especially if you're curvaceous, because I love the ones that have the open cut in the back. I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah, that would
Yes,
really compliment me.
absolutely. And every single piece is made to address a certain area of the body. I'm addressing problem areas. If it's the stomach, you've had some kids, we have high-waisted items that kind of like cinches in the waist. If you're curvy, pear shaped, the back opens so it's relaxed. The shape is A-line, it's not too tight. If you want to add curves, it's fitted, it's body conscious. They're truly shapes for every single body type.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I was having fun. I felt like I was on vacation going through your website,
Oh,
Terese.
that makes me happy to hear. That's the mission accomplished.
Yes, mission accomplished indeed. And we thank you
Yes.
so much for bringing it here to our viewers. Do you have any last words before we go?
I do. I want to let you guys know that we just celebrated 60 years of independence from Britain. Jamaica celebrated that on August 6th.
Terese Brown, everyone, creative director and CEO of Terese Sydonna. Once again, for more information on her new collection, Lucy, visit teresesedonna.com. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's weekly sports roundup is coming up next.